Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Muhammad Amzar bin Mazni, metric number C18B0155. Okay, this presentation is about Art Deco, program CWT3172, Appreciation of Aesthetic. Okay, this is one of the art decoration style of luxury and modernity. This is luxury and this is modernity. Okay, luxury and modernity. First point, ivory and silver inlays and pieces of art deco, jewelry, combined diamonds and with platinum, jade and other precious materials. In the past, ivory and silver inlays are counted as high prices of precious materials that they cannot get it anywhere else, and it's a little bit pricey. The second point, the style was used to decorate the first class saloons of ocean liners, deluxe trains and skyscrapers. Okay, the style was used to decorate the buildings, skyscrapers, to show the luxury and modernity. So, to show that the building is modern, the skyscrapers is modern, they use silver inlays, diamonds, platinum, jade. Okay, the last point, it was used around the world to decorate the great movie palaces of the late 1920s and 1930s. In between this year, it was used around the world to decorate the great movie palaces based on luxury and modernity in between 1920s and 1930s. Okay, for example, this is designed by Armand Albert Ratu in 1924-1925. It shows modernity and luxurious at the same time. Most of it is luxurious because of the color gold, the composition of the things, subjects. Gold shows money. It represents money and luxury. Okay, the second Art Deco is Art Deco in Malaysia. This is the OBOC building in Kuala Lumpur and Sultan Sulaiman Palace in Kuala Lumpur, in Putrajaya. Okay, the Art Deco in Malaysia are influenced by the European. In the European era, the building kind of look like a British building nowadays because it is influenced by European. The second point, they began in France in the early years of the 20th century, where there was an explosion of international influence after a seminal event in 1925. Okay, the last point, Malaysia boasts some of the finest examples of surviving Art Deco architecture in Southeast Asia. Also include the iconic Central Market in KL's Chinatown that is originally built in 1888. Okay, for example, this OCBC building, it is designed by Arthur Oakley Coleman, and in 2016, it is sold for 21 million. By 21 million, it shows that how valuable it is, this building is. So they sold it at a high price. Okay, the last example is Masjid Sultan Sulaiman. It shows that the design is based on European era. It shows that like an old building, but it is very valuable in nowadays era. It shows that the building have this kind of European British style.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Akmal bin Asli. Number country is C78A0521. Today I will talk about Art Deco skyscraper. Next. This example photo from skyscraper in America. First example is the American Radiator building in New York City by Raymond Hood, and the second Harris Lee building in New York City by William Van Allen, 1928 to 30. And last, New York City skyline, 1931 to 1933. Next. First of all, America's skyscrapers make it the summit of the Art Deco style. They become the tallest and most recognized modern buildings in the world. They were designed to show the prestige of their builders through their height, their shape, their color, and their dramatic illumination at night. The American Radiator building by Raymond Hood, the first photo, combined Gothic and Deco modern element in the design of the buildings. Black brick of the frontage of the building, symbolizing coal, was selected to give an idea of solidity and to give the building a solid mass. And another early Art Deco skyscraper was Detroit Guardian Building, which opened in 1929, designed by modernist West Siromland. The building was the first to employ stainless steel as a decorative element, and the extensive use of colored design in place of traditional ornaments. The New York skyline was radically changed by the Harris Lee building in Manhattan, completely in 1930, designed by William Van Allen. It was giant 7-floor top advertising for stylish automobiles. And the last one, the Harris Lee building was followed by the Empire State Building by William F. Lang, 1931, and the RCA building, now the Comcast building in Rockefeller Center by Raymond Hood, 1933, which together completely changed the skyline of New York. Okay.
Most of the Art Deco is using in the design of the building, jewelry or fashion, but this was a few of the painters associated the Art Deco in their painting. First, that is Jean Dupas. He used the style of the Art Deco in his painting. For example, his murals is also prominent in the French offices like SS Normandy. His work was purely decorative, designed as a background of accompaniment to other elements in the decor. She was a student of Marie Denny and Andrew Lotter. She borrowed many elements from their teacher and hand portrait in a realistic, dynamic, and colorful art deco life. In other words, art deco is used in the design but also have a few of the painter use the style of the art deco to do their artwork.
Saya Asma Melina Binti Arifin, nombor matrik C18A 0045. Saya dari grup Art Deco. Tajuk yang saya buat iaitu sak kaca. Sak kaca an artistic form in which hard or plastic materials are worked into three-dimensional art objects. The design may be embodied in freestanding object, in relief, or on surface or in environments ranging from table arts to contexts that envelop the spectator.
Okay.
An enormous variety of media may be used, including clay, wax, stone, metal, fabrics, glass, wood, plaster, rubber, and random found objects. Materials may be carved, molded, cast, wrought, welded, sewn, assembled, or otherwise shaped and combined. Sak kaca is not a fixed term that applies to a permanently circumscribed category of objects or set of activities. It is rather the name of an art that grows and changes and is continually extending the range of its activities and evolving new kinds of objects. The scope of the term was much wider in the second half of the 20th century than it had been only 2 or 3 decades before, and in the root state of the visual arts at the turn of the 21st century. Nobody can predict what its future extensions are likely to be.
Saya ambil lama gitu. Ya.
Elements and principle of sak kaca design. The two most important elements of sak kaca mass and space. Mass and space are of course separable and only in top. All structure is made of a material substance that has mass and exists in three-dimensional space. The mass of subculture is thus the solid material space occupying bulk that is contained within its surface. Space enters into the design of subculture in three main ways. The material components of the subculture extend into or move through space. They may enclose or enfold space, thus creating hollows and voids within the subculture, and they may relate one to another across space, volume, surface, light and shape, and color are supporting elements of subculture. Thank you.
My name is Muhammad Afiq bin Hashim, C18A0145. I will be talking about Art Deco graphic design. Art Deco graphic design might be a trend, but it is not a new style. The style was dated at 19th-20th century, with the greatest popularity of the style lasting for about 15 years. Art Deco took off in part due to culture where advertising was gaining popularity. The reason Art Deco design worked so well back in the 19th, 20th centuries, and why it continued to be staple among graphic designers today, is that it's purely aesthetic. The graphic design style is rather broad with plenty of characteristics. Strong use of geometry, shape, particular triangle, strong color palette with one or two accentuated hue and mosaic style, and many more kind of characteristics that has been taken in graphic design Art Deco. Art Deco graphic design might be a trend that best suit for one-off project rather than full-scale design. It is bold and ornated, and a massive website project in this style could get a little overwhelming. One of the things that can be done was a poster with simple logo, a typography based project. Further, most design tend to work with Art Deco element in their traditional styling, with ornate completely element and color palette with rich colors. Another common element of the Art Deco typography style is use of all caps for letterings, Times New Roman, Broadway and more. In other words, Art Deco graphic design was something that has been brought to life, where people will keep always using it since it is very useful for today's market. And thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hello, I'm Muhammad Syahdan bin Mazin, C18A0184. Now, I will gonna talk about architecture in Art Deco. Art Deco architecture is look very striking and different from earlier style. We will notice it when we see it. Builders use new industrial material like stucco, concrete and stainless steel. Art Deco structure feature considerable surface decoration, especially around the top of skyscraper. One good example is a relief panel from the lobby of the Daily Express building in London.
Art Deco was influenced by the bold geometric form of Cubism, the bright colors of Fauvism, and of the Ballad Roses. the updated craftsmanship of the furniture of the eras of Louis Philippe and Louis VI and the exotic styles of China and Japan, India, Persia, ancient antique and Maya art. It featured rare and expensive materials such as ebony and ivory and exquisite craftsmanship. In the 1930s, during the Great Depression, the Art Deco style became more subdued. New material arrived, including chrome, planting, stainless steel, and plastic. A sleeker form of the style, called streamlined modern, appeared in 1930s. It featured curving form and smooth, polished surface.
Assalamualaikum, nama saya Muhammad Hazim Abdullah, nombor matrik C118A 0518. Saya akan bertangan subtopik produk design di bawah Art Deco. Perkembangan produk design ni adalah sebuah proses menciptakan sebuah produk untuk dijual oleh perusahaan atau seseorang. Produk design ni ataupun design produk adalah sebahagian pada proses dan mengembangkan dalam setiap yang terintegrasi dengan banyak keilmuan serta dalam proses itu desain berdasarkan dalam sebagian hal sudah siap. Sekarang kita balik ke pertanyaan seterusnya.
Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Abdul Hakim. My nomenclature C18A 141. Today I will talk about automotive design. Next. Introduction. Automotive design is the process of developing the action and to some extent to economic of motor bicycle. Next. Design element. The task of design team is usually split into three main aspects. First, in exterior design, interior design, and color and trim design. Next, exterior design. Exterior design is first done by a series of digital or manual drawing with 3 and 5 existing CNC milling machine. The clay model is first designed in a computer program and then calibrated using the machine and linear amount of clay. Next. Second, interior design. The designer responsible of the recycle interior develop the proportion, shape, placement, and surface of the instrument panel, seat, door, trim panel, tail line, tail trim, etc. Next. Third, color of trim design. The color of trim or color and material. Designer is responsible of the research, design and development of all interior and exterior color and material used on a bicycle. This includes paint, plastic, fabric design, sticker, paint, carpet, design, wood, and so on. Next, graphic design. The design team also developed graphic of items such as budget, decay, die, fish, kick, or trim, and labels. Next. Development process. Next. design development cycle. Several manufacturers have significantly very relevant cycles of designer of automobile, but in practice, this the following. First, design and use research. Third, concept development sketching. Third, CAS, computer aided styling. Fourth, clay and modeling. Five, interior bulk model. Six, recycle economic. Seven, Class A software development. 8, color entry. 9, recycle graphic. Next, design developing. The design process of completely with other product engineer who will be engineering the styling data for meeting promotion, manufacturing and safety regulation. But apart from this, the engineering team parallelly work in the following areas: product engineering, body wise chemical design, plastic engineering, NVH developing team, prototype developing, powertrain engineering, physical recycle validation, tool and die development, and manufacturing process design. Next, development team. The design team for a specific model consists of a chief designer and interior as interior design. In some cases, all three roles were done by one designer. Next, component have body shell from the skeleton of the recycle, engine, emission, suspension, steering system, brake, electrical equipment, and interior trim. Next.
Izana binti Muhammad Pandi C18A0198. Saya akan bertanya pasal art deco, jewelry, glass art, metal art. Art deco is a style that emerged in 1925, a result of exhibit at the World Fair held in Paris, France. Okay, the term art deco is a shortened form from the event of the event name Exposition International Art Decorative Industrial Modernist. Certain design elements are consistent throughout period pieces, making it easy to identify cars, fashions, and even buildings. Authentic jewelry from this period was made between 1920 and 1935 and has at least one, sometimes all of the following traits listed below. The jewelry styles remained popular through the late 1930s and have since re-emerged as one of the most popular antique jewelry styles. This is the example of jewelry rings. Okay, glass art refers to individual works of art that are substantially or wholly made of glass. It ranges in size from monumental works and installation pieces to wall hangings and windows to works of art made in studio and factories, including glass jewelry and table walls. This is the example of wall fan up like the For metal arts, depressed metal artwork is a custom metalwork artist specializing in custom and elaborate metal artwork. All metal work pieces are individualized metal creatures that should stand out in any home, business, or garden decor. Custom design are encouraged and are created using client inspiration and artisan experience. Dear Head Wall, this is the example of metal art. That's all from me.